to the yoga session. Set your hips maybe in some elevation if you feel that gonna help your lower back to feel more comfortable, your hips and knees to feel more comfortable. Make sure that you adjusting the ankles. They don't need to be one on the top of the other. They could be parallel to each other, and with elevation you are able to settle your knees in a comfortable position. Don't compress your knees too hard. Bring your hands on the knees. And let us have a couple of moments, maybe with closed eyes, just to allow ourselves to arrive to the practice, to arrive to the space that you choose for the session today. So maybe it's still a bit of a distractions going on, maybe you're still settling in the space, so closing the eyes will help you into separation in a good sense from the environment that could distract you from their internal sensation, that could distract you from your breath, from helping your mind to connect to your body. Take a couple of long exhales. Use them as the cleansing exhales as well, to take any tension that maybe, even if you're practicing in the morning, might still be in the body from what happened before you set your mat, you set your environment. But if you're practicing with recording, definitely you might have the day before the practice. So as you take in a couple of exhales, feel the gravity, bring your legs down to the floor, feel gravity, bring your hands toward the knees. And as you inhale, just think of a bit of the stretch of your spine. And as you lengthening, also start paying attention how you feel on the sides of the body. So bring your awareness a little bit on the sides of the body. So there's a little bit of a stretch in the area of the waist area, in the area of your rib cage. And then you can have your eyes closed. Let us drop the right ear toward the right shoulder, making sure that the chin pointed straight forward, so not down, but straight forward, and feel some nice stretch on the left side of the neck. And then very slowly through the center, drop the head to the other side. So still keeping your torso up straight, just the head, just to achieve a nice stretch on the sides of the neck. We're gonna go again all the way to the right, and then this time we're gonna bring the right hand to the floor and maybe walk a little bit with the right hand, maybe just the tip of the fingers touching the floor. You would like to release your left arm and create a bit of a sense of the stretch along the rib cage, along the waist. Some of you might go a little bit further, but when you try to go further, make sure that you're not lifting your left hip off the floor. So your left hip is still grounded. Maybe you can firmly press the palm down, hold here, and then we'll very slowly release, come to the center. And then we're going to go to the other side. So walk your fingers away. Start with the head. And then as you walk your fingers more, feel more stretch on the sides of the body. Be grounded through the right hip. And then maybe press firmly the left palm to the mat. And at the same time, your right hip. Look forward. Don't look down. Make sure that you create a nice arch. And then let's come up one more time. We're gonna go this time again as far as you feel comfortable without lifting the left hip off the floor or the block if you're on the block. And this time we're gonna add the left arm. So let us first lift the left arm to make sure that the shoulder is open. So just check how your shoulder responds. So some of you should stay here, and if you're not collapsing with the left shoulder forward, if you have enough mobility, you can continue with the left arm overhead all the way. And here we're going to pulse a little bit with the tip of the fingers away from the left hip for 1, 2, 3. Then we're gonna again make a huge circle with the arm. Hold it here with the chest open, and then release the left arm and very slowly return back into seated position. We're gonna practice the same sequence on the left. So going with the left hand, dropping the head, holding here. Then we're gonna add the arm and stop first with a position where you feel how your shoulder opening, and you're welcome to stay here if this is feels like a limit for the shoulder, or you can try to progress with the arm little bit further and keep your grounded right hip. And here we're gonna pulse for 3, 2, 1, and then we're gonna again come here with the arm, and then we'll unfold, sitting tall. Let us bring both arms up toward the ceiling, keeping the palms facing each other. Try not to shrug your shoulders as much as you have control here, and keep engaged core. So stabilize here the midsection of the torso. And we're gonna go with the arms to one side and to the other side. And as you move, so try to go from the rib cage, like you're pressing the rib cage to one side, so arms go a little bit as compensation, and the other side. So it's not just your arms that you're moving, but think of the midsection of the torso moving. And let us return back to the center and release the arms. Keep them on the sides of the hip to start. Then we're gonna have a bit of a twist. Bring the left hand in front, right hand behind, and just twist a little bit. If you elevate it, it's just the tip of the fingers touching the floor. Align your nose, chin, and the sternum, and rotate the upper back. Be very grounded through the lower body. Unfold to the center and go to the other side. And use your hands to help you to rotate here. And return back to the center. So if you were on the block, let us remove the block, and we will release the legs wide. And here we will go in a couple of leg circles, ankle circles here. And here we will bend the left knee. We will bend the left knee, and we'll rotate to the right foot, and we will try to reach with the left hand toward the right big toe. So a little bit of the twist here. And I'll go with the pulses first, and if you reach into the big toe, just hold the big toe. Feel some stretch on the back of the left shoulder. Flex your foot, keep your left shoulder relaxed, feel some stretch on the right hamstring, and then let's release, let's change. Extend your left leg, bend your right knee, and then we're going to reach with the right hand to the left big toe. Relax the shoulder, feel a bit stretch on the back of the right shoulder, and as all fold forward, seated fold forward, you're trying to go with the chest forward, but because we have a little bit of a twisting, we feel the stretch on the back. And let's release back to the center. Let's extend both legs. Maybe you would like to use one or even two blocks. We're going to bring the hands on the block. It might be a low position, and you bring the tip of the fingers around the block, and just pull yourself forward. And as you pull yourself forward, you're trying to come with the chest forward, flex the feet. So a bit of the stretch on the back of the legs here. Long, long spine. Taking the breath. So it's just like awakening the tissues of the body here. And then let us come up into seated position, and we will cross the ankles and come into the tabletop position. So sit in your tabletop position with the hands under the shoulders, knees hip distance, and we'll go into the cat stretch. And I'm inviting you to hold your cat stretch a bit, and feel elongation along the spine. Feel some tight spots, where those tight spots along the spine could be for you. Stretch the neck, and then very slowly let's go into the dog stretch that we also will be holding. And I'm inviting you to control your shoulders, trying to like really press the belly down, really press the rib cage down, finding maximum extension in your lower back that you can achieve in this position. And from here, we'll flow, using the breath to guide us. On exhale, pull the belly in, drop the head down. On inhale, open the chest, lift the chin. So let us go for 3 more. And when you finish in your 3rd one, you come into neutral position, having the right arm open to the side, and then bring the right arm under the chest, bring the right shoulder down, look to the left, readjust your left hand where it feels right for you, and then use the left hand and press yourself slightly backward, like you, again, like you're twisting the body a little bit. See if you can feel this twist from the right shoulder all toward the left hip. So try to achieve this cross body sensation. Holding another breath, and then let us release the right arm. We'll go with the left, bringing the left arm under. The left shoulder should be more or less aligned with your left knee. Readjust the right hand. And then again, using a bit of a strength of the right arm, push the body backward and feel this cross directional stretch from the left shoulder to the right hip ideally, but you might feel it a little bit different, but see if that's possible to achieve. Taking the breath here, and then let us come into the tabletop position. So for the next one, you might want to use the length of the mat, as we're going to take the right foot to the right, and I would suggest we all use the block. Very often, having the block, even on the high level, give us a little bit more opening for the chest, for this side stretch. So you can have a block flat, or you can have a block even a middle side. And let us start with a pointed toe. So I'm on the left knee and my right leg extended. And I just open the chest. So very often in this position, we have the foot in front, so we are a hinge in the hip. I want you to get one straight line. Block, left knee, right toe, squeeze your glutes and press your pelvis slightly forward to feel opening here. Take your right arm up toward the ceiling, keeping the chest open. And then start engaging the abdomen muscles and lift your right leg off the floor, and I'm inviting you to flex the right foot. So use the glute and make sure that the foot is not in front. You're using the glutes to press your pelvis forward and have one straight line. If you're gonna poke your oblique on the right side, the top side is really working here. Holding, shoulders relaxed, don't tense the shoulders, and let's release. Let us build it carefully on the other side. So pressing the block. Block is 1 foot, close to 1 foot away from the right knee. Extend your left leg, open the chest here. So make sure that you're not hinged. Very often we are hinged because that's our flexed hip position. It's something that is very comfortable for our body because we all the time in this flexed position. So press the hip flexor forward. Then take your left arm up. So make sure again that left arm is not collapsing forward. Find the position. And now engage your abdomen and lift your left leg off the floor. Flex the right foot. Keep chest open, neck long. Feel again the left oblique here is working. Left glute working. Left hamstring is working. Center of the pose is here on the core. And then exhale. Let us return back into the tabletop position and then take your knees wide, press the hips back, stretch the arms. And again, I'm inviting you today to emphasize the stretch of the sides of the body. So walk your fingers away, press the hips back. You might bring the forehead down on the floor. You might not. Maybe your elbows, wrists are all off the floor. Just feel this length on the sides of the body, and then we're going to work the hands to the left, holding the right wrist, and working on the stretch around this time the most intensity we feel around the armpit, right? So around the back of the right shoulder blade. So find the range that it is, yes, it is stretchy, but it's nothing that is uncomfortable. And then let us walk back to the center. Again, find your active position. So walking fingers away, both sides lengthening equally. And then walk to the right, this time holding the left wrist, dropping the left shoulder down. Feel stretch around the shoulder blade. And hold in another breath, and then we'll return back into the child pose, active child pose. We're going to lift the hips, spread the fingers, and probably that's the right distance for you to tuck your toes and come into the downward dog. So let us in this downward dog emphasize the size of the torso today. So think of pressing your hips away from the base of the palms. You can bend your knees as much as it feels right for you. Taking the breath and then look forward and walk to the front of the mat. As you reach your palms, maybe just hand here, really down, really relax your head, relax your arms and send your seat bones up toward the ceiling. And then let's very slowly roll up into standing position. Exhale. So we are on the front of the mat and we'll go through the couple of sun salutations. With inhale, lift the arms up. Stretch the sides of the body. Then hinge from the hips. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Stepping the left foot back, dropping the left knee down to the floor. Let us have the block and just bring it outside of the right foot. Press the left hip forward. Open the left hip flexor and then take your left arm back. So feel a bit of rotation on the left side. So I want to see your hip is stretching. So some of you having your almost 90 degree of the left thigh. You want to come forward, opening the chest to the left. Look back. And then exhale. Just go with the right arm across as far to the right as you can reach. Again, feeling all this left side is twisted slightly. And then again, open the left arm parallel to the floor back. Keep chest opening. And then again, reach as far to the right as you can. Feel it from the palm to the left hip, all slightly stretching and twisting. One more time. Open this to the left. And then go all the way to the right, pressing the left hip forward as well. And then release the left hand down to the floor. Tug the back toes and step into downward dog. Exhale. And as you reach your downward dog, I would like you to compare the sensation on the left side and sensation of the right side. So do you feel like your left shoulder and left shoulder and left hip is like connected, and like you don't feel any connection between the right shoulder and the right hip? And we're going to fix it doing the same sequence on the other side. We're going to drop the knees down to the floor, and we'll step the left foot forward. We're going to have a block outside of the left foot, and let us just really press the hip forward. Okay, and then we're going to take the right arm parallel to the floor, and we'll twist to the right, trying to keep the arm parallel to the floor. Feeling the stretch on the front of the right shoulder. And then reach as far as you can go to the right. Twisting a little bit. Connect the shoulder and the hip. And again, let us go with the right arm back, opening the chest. And then exhale. Come all the way to the left. Reach like someone is pulling your arm across. And then again, one more time, go to the back. And then again, go to the right, reach, 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 press the hip, also opening the hip flexor. And let us tuck the back toes and step into the downward dog. Exhale. Set your head between your arms, and here, just try to feel two shoulders and two hips and everything between, like really like you have symmetrical rectangular sensations right now from your four joints. And the next inhale, look forward and walk to the front of the mat. Set your feet hip distance. Exhale, and let's very slowly come up into standing position. Exhale. Taking the breath, will flow again. Inhale, reach up. Hinging from the hips, exhale, folding forward, really long sides of the body, like a waterfall comes from the hips down to the floor. Let's step the left foot back. This time we'll drop the left knee down to the floor and then bring the hands to the thigh. Take a moment here to settle, and then bring both hands to the lower back. Press it forward a little bit. Bring the right hand to your lower back, like the whole right forearm, and take your left arm up, and then go to the side bend. So you are going into the right side, opening the left side again. Really intense stretch for the hip flexor. On exhale, release to the center. Bring the hands to the floor and step into downward dog. Exhale, long spine. We'll drop the knees down to the floor to step the left foot forward. Bring the hands to the thigh, finding your nice long lunge, bringing your left forearm to the lower back. Take the right arm up and then go to the right. So have a nice opening here on the sides of the body. Taking exhale, pressing the hip forward, then release the arms, bring the hands on the floor, tuck the toes and go into the downward dog. Exhale, long spine. We're going to flow into plank, and let's, for the first one, we're going to drop the knees down to the floor. So I would like everybody to remind how you lock in your shoulders. So we're going to be some side planks here today. So I want you to really stabilize your shoulders first. with the knees on the floor. So think of pressing the space between the shoulder blades up. Neck is neutral. Engage your glutes. Help with the glutes and lower abdomen. Support your pelvis, and let's tap the toes and lift the knees off the floor into plank. Continue to push the floor, push the floor, push the floor, and then come into the downward dog. Exhale. Let's have a long breath. On next inhale, we're going to step the right foot forward, and this time we are in the high lunge. So take your time to find your high lunge. Find the strength of your leg. Lift your torso up for just a breath to engage the back leg, and then from the hip flexors fold forward, having the distance between the right thigh and your rib cage. Take your left arm forward, take the right arm back. Think of reach into the different direction and then change your arms. Reach with the right palm forward, left palm back, and then again change. Reach, reach. You really use the energy in the arms. And again, change. And then one more time. Left arm, right palm, go in opposite direction. And then change. Hold here. And then bring the hands on the floor and step into downward dog. Exhale. On inhale, flow into plank. We'll just hold the plank. Strong glutes, strong arms. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go into the downward dog. Exhale. Stepping the left foot forward into lunge. Take your time to find the lunge. Then lifting the torso first all the way up to feel that the back leg is supporting you. Then fold forward, engaging the abdomen. You're not collapsing to your thigh. You have here space. Take your right arm to the front, left arm to the back. Reach with the tip of the fingers and then change. And again, stretch, 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 and then change. Reach, 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 and then change. One more time, right arm in front, left arm back, and then change, reach, and then bring the hands on the floor, step into downward dog. Exhale. Taking the breath, flowing into plank, pushing the floor in the plank, squeezing the glutes, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming into downward dog. Exhale. Looking forward, walking to the front of the mat. Hanging here, releasing the head. Taking the seat bones up toward the ceiling. And then let us very slowly come up into standing position. Exhale. Taking the breath here. We'll flow again. With inhale, lifting the arms up. On exhale, floating down into the fold. Stepping the left foot forward, this time dropping the left heel down to the floor. Walking the hands to the edge of the mat, lifting the torso up into the warrior two. So you have a warrior two legs and your torso is facing the long side of the mat. Then finding the right hand coming to the right hip crease, stretch the left arm toward the left heel, and then find your right arm going into the corner between the ceiling and the wall in front of you. Rotate your left shoulder back so you are here facing with the torso, your long side of the mat. And then hold. Another breath. And then come up again, exhale. This time I'm going to slide the left hand down toward the left heel and taking the right arm up, facing the palm toward the back. And if you feel comfortable, you can go with the arm slightly above the head. Don't lose your front knee. Crescent lunge, your front knee still pressed forward and back leg is support for you. On exhale, making a huge circle with the left arm, and see if you can slide the right leg back without lifting your hips. Squeeze your glutes, press, 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 and then come to the downward dog. Exhale. Long spine. Then stepping the left foot forward, dropping the right heel, and lifting yourself into the warrior two position. We will now, from the hip crease, fold forward a little bit. Slide the right hand toward the right heel. Taking the left arm parallel to the floor. And think of rotation of your torso back. So you shouldn't be folding forward. Work with this rotation. Work with your obliques here. Then let's unfold. Come in the torso perpendicular to the floor. Then slide the right hand toward the right thigh. Take your left arm overhead. Go all the way back. Pressing the front knee. Holding. Another exhale. Let's make a huge circle with the right arm and step into plank if you can without lifting your hips. Press the floor. Use the strong arms, strong shoulders, strong core. Basically, it's the full body engagement here. And then come into the downward dog. Exhale. Long spine. Taking the breath, look forward and walk to the front of the mat. Have your feet hip distance. Release the head. And then let's very slowly come up into standing position. Exhale. So let us now come just maybe facing the front of the camera. It doesn't matter which side of the mat you are. And let's bring the body weight to the right foot and have the left big toe touching the floor, right? And you need to lean to the right little bit, but think of the alignment. So shoulders and hips are parallel to each other, right? So your rectangle, your four corners are here. Have your soft knee. Stabilize your right hip by engaging your glute and lift your left leg off the floor. Keep your arms along the torso for the first time. So a little bit of a lean. So make sure that you're not keeping your shoulders here and feeling compression. You need to lean to the right. So I want your right oblique to work here. Arms along the body for first one, and the left foot is flexed. Pull the heel into the hip socket here. So see if you can slide a little bit lower. Some of you definitely can. And then come up and shake your legs. Go into the other side. Bring the body weight to the left foot. Start with the big toe touching and just a bit of the lean into the left. So not from the waist area, but from the hip. Align shoulders and hips, soft knee, engage the glute, lift your right foot, hold your arms parallel. So find center, like the center of the gravity is going above the left heel. And see if some of you can go a little bit lower. Flex foot, you're using both glutes, lower abdomen, both obliques working. Good, and come up. Okay, shake your legs. We will add a little bit extra to that, add in the arm. So we'll start the same way. Left toe touching the floor. Stabilize your right hip, soft knee. Slightly find your lean into the right. We're going to take one arm and the other arm is along the hip. And lift the leg. And that's where you can hold. Some of you might take both arms and go as low as you can. And maybe some of you can take the arms wide, that's also option. And try to go with the heel high, shoulder down. Hold here, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and unfold. Release. Shake your legs, let's build it on the other side. Bring the body weight to the left foot. Touch the floor with a big toe, slightly lean. So already finding that you're using your obliques here, soft knee, lift the leg. Let's take the left arm, right arm. So this is the first progression that you can practice. Then you can go both arms overhead and just have like 45 degree. That's the second progression. Then you can go lower. That's a third progression. And the fourth is arms wide, heel high, hold 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and unfold and release. So let us take a moment here with the closed eyes. Take your arms on the sides of the body and just scan the sides of the body. Definitely after this balance pose with a strong engagement of obliques and glutes, you like really feel some burning on the sides of the body. Taking the breath. Okay, let us flow again from the front of the mat. We will be using the blocks again, so make sure you can reach them. And as you come into mountain pose, you finding your perfect posture here. With inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, hinge from the hips all the way down, release the head. Then we'll step the left foot back and bring this time the block under the left hand. Bring the right hand to the thigh and very gently twist. You can stay here, but then you can bring the left, just the tip of the fingers touching the block, bring the right hand to the lower back. That's your first progression. Or you might take the right arm up into the extended triangle. Make sure that you not collapse into the front foot and to the front hand. Find your back leg working. Reaching here, twisting, twisting, twisting. Keeping the right shoulder relaxed as much as you're able. Exhale, bring the right hand down to the floor. Step into downward dog. Exhale. Taking the breath, flowing into plank, holding the plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going back into the downward dog. Exhale. Stepping the left foot forward, using the block under the right hand. Lift yourself, find the back leg. And then you can start with the left hand on the lower back, twisting toward the left and having back leg supporting you. Don't bend. I don't want to see back knee bent. Back knee is straight. Press the right heel down to the floor. Rotate and then take your left arm up into twist. Very light touch. Your right hand is not flat on the block. Only tip of the fingers touching the block. Only tip of the fingers touching the block. You're using your core to hold. Yes. Unfold. Bring the hands on the floor. Step into downward dog. Exhale. On inhale, step into plank. Hold. Hold. And let's drop the knees down to the floor. And just observe me for the next progression. We're going to add to the next flow. So from the plank position or from downward dog, whatever more accessible for you, you're going to take your right leg across as far as you can go. You bring the body weight to your right palm and you're opening here. The left foot is flat on the floor. Okay, then you're going to bring the hand and you're going to come back into plank or downward dog, and then we're going to go into the other side. We didn't practice this for a while, so let us do it without the flow, just as the asana itself, and then we will try to incorporate that. So let us go from the downward dog. It's a little bit easier. So come to the downward dog, and let us have a left foot coming a little bit closer to the midline. Then bend your right knee and send your right foot to the left. So your hands are still in downward dog, okay? And then just adjust the left foot to be flat on the floor and continue with the right foot as far as you can go. Arrange your right shoulder above the right palm and open the left arm up. Hold. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the left hand, so you like your hands in the downward dog. Bend your right knee and come to the downward dog. Exhale. Let's drop the knees and just rest. Shake your shoulders, shake your arms, and let us practice to the other side from downward dog. So come to the downward dog, and then bend your left knee and send the left leg. So bring it to the outer edge. Readjust your left shoulder above the left palm. Drop the right heel down. Adjust the distance and take your right arm up. Press the hips up toward the ceiling, holding 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the right hand down, come into downward dog. Exhale, long spine. And let's drop the knees down to the floor and let's rest in child pose. Let's look forward and come to the belly line into Sphinx position. To have your feet a little bit apart, and just take a moment to let your spine to adjust into extension. We didn't do a lot of extension today, so just feel how your lower back adjusts, and remember that you always support your lower back in extension with slight engagement of glutes. And let us bring the forearm a little bit closer to the midline, and let us send your left hand to the floor on the left side of the left hip and gently rotate yourself. So rotation in the prone position, how that feels. So just opening yourself to the left. And then unfold back into the Sphinx pose. Have your left forearm on the midline, have your right hand on the floor close to the right hip, and gently rotate yourself to the right. And then unfold back to the center. Bring your forehead down on your palms. Exhale here. Then we will extend both arms in front, straight arms. And when you're ready, we're going to lift the right leg and the right arm. You don't need to lift your head too high. Align your right ear with the right arm, pointing toes. Hold and release. We're going to lift the opposite. Left arm, right leg. Again, it's not high. Keep using your right glute, right hamstring. And exhale. And let's continue. Right arm, left leg. And down. Left arm, right leg. And down. Again, right arm, left leg. And down. Left arm, right leg. And down last time. Right arm, left leg. And down. Left arm, right leg. And down. Exhale. Hands on the sides of the rib cage. And very carefully bring yourself into the child pose. So that's a contour pose. Take the breath here. And let's come one more time in a downward dog. Exhale. Taking the breath. And then flow into the plank and step your right foot outside of the right palm. Then drop the left knee down to the floor. And here we will walk the right foot as far to the right as it feels comfortable for us. Turn the foot to the outer edge. Your hands are under the chest, opening the right hip, and you're welcome to stay here, or you're welcome to use 1 or 2 blocks to support your forearms and drop the head. So we bit of the hip opening here. Press the left hip forward as well. You should feel stretch on the left hip flexor. The right foot is flexed, 90-degree. Yes, excellent. So you don't need to go to the forearms. It might be a lot for you. You're just holding your arms straight. That also the option. It's the progression here. Taking another breath. And then from here, let us have a little bit of a twist. So just sending the left shoulder forward. You can bring the right hand to the right thigh and twist here. Pressing the left hip forward even more. And then here we will walk the right foot to the opposite side and we're going to drop the right hip. So you know where we're going. We're going to the pigeon pose. So just adjust the front shin the way that is comfortable. Keep your foot flexed. And I'm always suggest to use the block under the right hip bone to send the hips and shoulders forward. And then let's bring the forearms down if it's working for you, or maybe you go all the way down to the floor. So use the progression that's working for you. You want to maintain your lower back flat. You want to maintain your lower back parallel to the floor. Support your knee with a flexed right foot. Let us hold here for 1 minute. And then let's very slowly come up and just remove the block if you used one. And let us go into the downward dog. Walk your dog. If you feel you want to lift your leg and shake the leg in the air, go ahead. And here we will find the left foot stepping outside of the left palm. We're going to drop the right knee down to the floor. We'll walk the left foot out, turn it 45 degree. So usually the foot ending up on the floor, 45 degree. And then you might go into your forearm. You might go into one block. You might go into 2 blocks. Or you might stay with the straight arms, making sure that your left foot is flexed. You externally rotate your hip. And then we will walk the left foot to the right edge of the mat. First we will drop the hip, just to make sure that everything is comfortable, all the joints are safe. Flex the left foot to support the left knee, and then lift your hips. And I usually ask you to get your support, so that's going to help you to set your hips facing front, and you can stay high, or you might go into any lower position. The last 5 breaths here. Then we'll lift the torso, remove the block, and come to the downward dog. Exhale. Again, you might want to lift your leg, have a little bit of the hip movements here. And then we'll bring the knees down to the floor, cross the ankles, and come into seated position with both legs straight. Set the flash away from the seat bones, and let us try to take the arms overhead. So think like you are diving. Bring the one palm in front of the other. Bring the arms behind the head. Just keep yourself lengthening forward. So all what you can here. Reach, reach, reach. And then release the arms to the side. And let us twist to the right and come to the center. Twist to the left and come to the center. So try not to move just your arms, but rotate the torso. Use your arms just to help you to get more sense of opening chest. One more time to the right, one more time to the left, and then release the hands on the sides of the hips and start walking them forward, but don't drop your head. Keep your feet flexed, keep your chest open, get length here. And then maybe we're gonna take the arms parallel. So just not touching the toes yet, but reaching forward. So trying to align the tip of the fingers with the tip of the toes. And some of you might grab your toes. If not, just bring the hands on your ankles. Keep your chest open and just pull yourself forward and think more of a length of the side. So don't have a rounding spine. If you're ending up here, that's absolutely fine. Lengthening. Keep your feet flexed. If you're reaching your toes, that's even better. So you have a bit something to pull yourself forward. And then let's release up. Bend the left knee. And we'll come into the twist, bringing the left hand against the right thigh, using the right arm as support. Exhale here. Returning back to the center, changing the legs. Bending the right knee, lengthening here, bring the right hand against the left knee and use the left arm to twist yourself. Exhale here. The knee is on the floor. And unfold back to the center. And let us find our supine position. Maybe bring your knees to the chest first. And the rock from side to side, and then let us take the arms overhead with the knees still pressed to the chest. Just feel how you're pressing the thoracic spine down, like you are creating a bit of extension in the upper back. And then let's bend the elbows into cactus pose, and your forearms might be off the floor. I want you to maintain straight wrist, so don't flex your wrist. And then we'll bring the feet down to the floor, readjust the pelvis, extend the left leg, and then take the right knee across, turn the head toward the right elbow, and keep your right shoulder grounding. You might reach with the left hand to the right knee and just give a little bit more direction for the knee. Keeping this sense of the right shoulder external rotation. Unfold back. Let us again readjust the hips and shoulders. Bring the knees close to the chest. Take your arms overhead. Get some length here. Then bend your elbows into the cactus pose, keeping the wrist straight. Then bring the feet down to the floor. Readjust your pelvis. Extend your right leg. Take with the left knee across. Turn your head to the left. Then on some point you might reach to the left knee with the right hand and just give a little bit twisty sensation, a little bit of direction to twist with your right hand, keeping the left shoulder on the floor. And fold back to the center. Readjust your hips, readjust your shoulders, extend your legs, extend your arms overhead. First, just give a full body stretch, and then let us go with the heels to the left. Cross the right ankle on the top of the left ankle. Move your shoulders and head to the left. You can hold the right wrist with the left hand. Keep grounding the right shoulder blade down to the floor. Keep grounding the shoulder and hip, creating some stretch, some passive, very, very passive stretch. And the intercostal muscles, all those muscles on the sides of the rib cage, between the rib cage. And then let's return back to the center. Again, maybe have a full body stretch, point the toes, and then walk your heels to the right, cross the left ankle, move the shoulders and arms to the right, hold your left wrist, ground the left shoulder down to the floor, ground the left hip to the floor. And let's return back to the center one more time. Stretch, and then let's relax. Take your arms on the sides of the hips. Maybe split your feet a little bit apart. Let your toes fall apart. Squeeze the shoulder blades a little bit. And then just take a deep exhale to let your body be grounded. And allow yourself couple of moments on mindful relaxation when you are not moving, not doing, not thinking, when you are observing the breath, observing the sensations in the body, which comes as a result of the practice. Allow a bit of a depth in your breath, and then follow with a gentle movements of fingers, toes, wrists, elbows, knees. Finding maybe a bit of the rock here. When you're ready, no rush. Come to the side of the body and come into the seated position. Bring the hands in front of the heart. meet the end of the practice. Thank yourself for being able to set time, to have energy, to bring your mind to follow the movements and teach your body into mindfulness through the breath and movement on the mat that you can take with you to use in your daily activities. Namaste.